Did you know that Kentucky has many roadside attractions? Let's take a look at a few of these attractions located throughout the state. In Simpsonville, Kentucky is the world's largest roll of sausage. This is a sign for Purnell's Old Folks Country Sausage, a large 10 to 12 foot long roll of sausage with an attached mock sausage stuffer pump. Located in Bardstown, Kentucky is the world's largest bourbon barrel. The Barton 1792 distillery compels everyone to take a 2-hour free tour before gazing upon their colossal barrel, which is located at the back of the property. Located in Blackberry, Kentucky is the site of the first Hatfield-McCoy killing. The first killing in the famous Hatfield-McCoy feud took place on January the 7th, 1865. Elsa Harmon McCoy, who was a Union soldier, was shot dead by a band of Confederate vigilantes led by Devil Ames Hatfield. Asa was the younger brother of Randolph McCoy, who oddly also happened to be a Confederate. Nevertheless, Randolph never forgave the Hatfields and would lead his clan against theirs for the next 25 years. Located in Bowling Green, Kentucky is Duncan Hines. The Kentucky Museum on WKU campus has a sizable area dedicated to the work of Mr. Duncan Hines, whose name has been attached to many food items including cake and brownie mixes. His story is fascinating, and the exhibit contains a lot of interesting items and information about his work. His home was in Bowling Green, and he is buried in the local cemetery. Located in Corbin, Kentucky is the Harlan Sanders Cafe and Museum. A museum embraces the history of the first Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant in its original location. There is the original kitchen and a recreated lodging room that was part of the original business. As learned from the signs, Harlan also pumped gas as one of his services. This is a small museum with a modern restaurant of the Kentucky Fried Chicken chain attached, where you order your food, then sit in another room where a glassed-in replica of what a table service would have looked like. Located in Cynthiana, Kentucky is the Walking Dead Mural. Large portraits of protagonists Rick, Carl, Michonne, and Daryl on the lookout for possible zombies in Cynthiana, painted by muralist Sergio Odith in June of 2016. Cynthiana is the hometown of the Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman. Located in Louisville, Kentucky is the Louisville Slugger Walk of Fame. Over 60 bronze baseball bats line over a mile of Louisville Main Street, sticking up out of the sidewalk, honoring the game's greatest hitters. Located in Owensboro, Kentucky is the world's largest sassafras tree. With a circumference of 21 feet, the world's largest sassafras tree is thought to be between 250 to 300 years old. The tree measures over 100 feet tall. A few other sassafras trees are 60 feet tall or taller, but the average sassafras is 30 to 50 feet tall. Located in Simpsonville, Kentucky are the graves of the horrible massacre. The massacre of Northern forces of the United States by Confederate guerrillas in 1865. What distinguishes this horrible massacre site from others is its double row of 22 headstones next to the highway. According to its local historical marker, nearly all of the dead were former slaves. Located in Stanville, Kentucky is the world's second largest seated Lincoln. The big seated Lincoln statue, only a tad smaller than D.C.'s enthroned president, was commissioned by a lawyer known as Mr. Social Security. Located in Williamstown, Kentucky is Noah's Ark. The wooden boat of biblical proportions is 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, and 51 feet high. 3 decks and dozens of dummy animals, including small dinosaurs. Helpful signs and exhibits explain it all. The exhibit opened July of 2016. Located in Owensboro, Kentucky is the International Bluegrass Music Museum, the only museum of its kind in the world featuring live instrument demonstrations, bluegrass films, Bill Monroe's phone book, 1948 Walzer jukebox loaded with bluegrass on vinyl, and a gift shop.